Hello everyone, and this is my review for Monday Night Raw on March the 28th, 2016. And this, of course, was the final Raw before WrestleMania. And, well, they started it off with a bang. The Undertaker Shane McMahon promo. So much better than everything we've had over the last couple weeks with Shane and Undertaker, and of course the brawl afterwards, setting up the typical table spot that Shane used to do all the time from the turnbuckle. I'm shocked he wanted to even take this spot at this age, but he went for it here. You figure it would be something they say for WrestleMania, but the aspect of the announce table being outside the cage and everything like that, they necessarily can't do that spot. So he got that spot off here. The thing I really liked about the ending of this promo is you're making it look like, you know, Shane's getting one over, and maybe this is favoring the Undertaker for winning at WrestleMania, but they went with the whole aspect of, you know, as much as Shane will do or can do and will be willing to go off and do, Undertaker always saying it's never going to be enough. I love the aspect that even though afterwards Undertaker's down for a while but sits back up in the end. I actually really like this, just playing off that aspect that, like, Undertaker saying, you know, it doesn't matter what you do or how much you do of whatever, it's not going to be enough. And I like that little aspect here. So that interaction between the two of them was so much better than what was the entire throughout the rest of the build-up going into WrestleMania. They did a really good job tonight on that aspect. And the confrontation with Vince and Shane in the backstage area was really well done as to go along with that. I love how Shane throws the aspect of how Vince took over the WWE and says that on Sunday he's going to take it instead of stealing it and everything like that. I really liked how they pulled this off. I felt they did really well here. But on to some things I didn't necessarily like. First of all, or I won't say I didn't necessarily like, but they decided to put these into the stories, and maybe the fans didn't really like it all that much. They were setting up the 10 Diva tag. You had Tamina and Naomi with Lana and Summer Rae and Emma. They were going to form the heel team. They're calling them Bad and Blonde or something like that. Really not a good team name. And then you have the Total Divas team with Brie Bella, Natalya, Paige, and right now Alicia Fox. So you have Paige going up against Emma, the typical affair, and eventually the heels go over here. So you're expecting somebody to come out for that Brie Bella's team to even out the odds. And lo and behold, it was Eva Marie. For a babyface moment, that is the loudest amount of boos I've ever heard in my life. That is by no stretch of the imagination. That was the response. And it's basically the same response she gets down in NXT, like the second she comes out. Boos outside of there, and they start chanting and everything like that. It was just not a very good spot in the end. Yeah, it was one of those moments that like, you're probably thinking it's like, okay, maybe Nikki's coming back or something like that in there, and that probably would have made a little bit more sense than having Eva go out there. But ends up being Eva Marie. It does play off of the aspect that they are all on Total Divas and everything like that, so that is consistent. But they're supposed to be quote unquote the babyface team here, and Eva Marie just loudest like going boos possible. So we'll go on from that. The Sami Zayn, Sin Cara, and Sami Zayn, Sin Cara, and Dolph Ziggler going up against Miz, Stardust, and Kevin Owens. This match was really good. It was very enjoyable. I thought it was a really good match to watch out there, but you got to feel bad for some of those guys because not too many people are really caring about this storyline in any way, shape, or form. And It started a lot of chants in there, and this is going to probably leave a bad taste in some of the mouths, especially people who are just getting their first WrestleMania, such as Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. It's like fans aren't really caring about this, and Zack Ryder was going up against Chris Jericho earlier, and they played off of that for the for the AJ Styles Chris Jericho storyline, which I have not been liking the way they built up the fourth match so far. As you probably have seen, they've been making AJ kind of look dumb in a lot of cases, and he finally gets one over on Chris Jericho here, getting the distraction so Zack Ryder could get the win, and then eventually Jericho cuts a very scathing, very good promo to set up their, say, hey, you're going to get your match, and, this is your dream, almost like this is your dream, but I'm going to make this your worst nightmare style of promo. I really liked what they pulled off here on the promo side. The build going into the fourth match hasn't been all that good, but hopefully they get a good chunk of time on the show, and they put on a really, really good match. So we'll see what ends up happening at WrestleMania on that side. Becky Lynch and Charlotte. This was a really good match. I actually enjoyed the entire match itself. I don't really think it was a good idea of pinning either one of them the week of WrestleMania. Like, you can do stuff to set up going into there, but I felt like this match could have probably used a DQ finish. I know they had just had Sasha pin Charlotte, so now she gets one over on Becky. So Charlotte's like the top person here, the one going in with all the momentum in every way, shape, or form. Though I did like the reaction like the facial reaction of Becky losing that match. Like, she just looked sad, pissed off, and everything thrown into one at any given time. That was a really good spot there for that and towards her character and everything. But in the end, I felt like this one probably would have served better with a DQ finish. But overall, really good match from the two of them. I thought they did a really good job here in the terms of the match quality, and the build up towards WrestleMania between all three of them has also been really good as well. It's actually a match to kind of look forward to going into the actual pay-per-view. The Kalisto having a match with Connor from the Ascension. Really short match. Can't really say too much here for it because it was, again, a short match. So nothing bad, nothing great. This was just more building up their match with Ryback and Kalisto, and that was pretty much all they did here, was have Ryback come out and do the stare down and Kalisto holding the title. Kind of an interesting spot for them to use that there. But the way they built like Roman Reigns and Triple H, you can't necessarily do that style spot. But interesting that they used it for Kalisto and Ryback. No words exchanged, just, basically it's like U.S. title on the line. It's us two. You got the great little guy, what they call the great little guy, and the great big, and the good big guy. The good little guy, the good big guy. And they're it's like they're playing off the David versus Goliath type feelings. We'll see where they go with this at WrestleMania. Not too many people are looking forward to this match in any way, shape, or form. So, let's see here. I'm trying to remind myself of where else to go. Oh yes, let's go with the Social Outcast, Kane, and the Big Show. 4-on-2 handicap match. First of all, I loved how Curtis Axel got a quick happy birthday on the air out to his late father, Kurt Hennig. I love that little spot being in there. And of course, they get interrupted by Kane and the Big Show. It was a 4-on-2 handicap match. Broke down really quickly, and eventually everybody from the Battle Royal kind of shows up in there. I think you had Damian Sandow in there, Tyler Breeze shows up, Goldust, R-Truth, and a bunch of others show up into this melee, and setting up basically the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Not too bad, not great, but it's kind of there again. And Battle Royals have always been something about WrestleMania. There usually is one almost every single WrestleMania in some way, shape, or form. Maybe not on the main show, but they usually end out, if they have them anywhere, they usually show up on the pre-show now. But most WrestleManias have one, and this should be no exception in any way, shape, or form. The promo, and I'll just say promo because I loved how they did this. The promo with with Paul Heyman, hyping up Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose, saying everything that Brock Lesnar could do with weapons and everything in that aspect. Paul Heyman doing his normal fare here of hyping up the match and hyping up kind of both guys here in that sense. And right as he's about to fully finish it, and I liked how he did it, went back to about 2 years ago and was going to say this is not a prediction, this is a spoiler. And as soon as he goes into finishing it off, Dean Ambrose interrupts, bringing out a wagon. Now, you're expecting probably some kind of interaction, which these guys have had actually a fair amount of interaction between the two of them, beating each other up throughout the entire time. But no, this was an aspect of Dean Ambrose not even looking at Brock Lesnar, wasn't even paying attention, but he was going out there to basically, he made it feel like he was going shopping for weapons in this segment, where he just goes under the ring and just puts everything into the wheelbarrow, like the chainsaw, the barbed wire baseball bat. I think he threw a chair in there. He threw a couple steel pipes in there, and then he took one of the steels. Then he took one of the steps and put it in there and just wheels it to the back. Very fun, very funny way to end the segment. Also, a good way of showing off the seriousness of the match itself and weapons that will more than likely show up in this match going on Sunday. So, actually, really good segment there. I thought this was good. I thought this was a good one. So this brings me to the main aspect of the night, which was Triple H. Well, I won't say the main, but one of the main aspects of the night, which was Triple H and Roman Reigns. You have Triple H going out there cutting another promo about how everybody has hopes and dreams, and that Roman actually has that chance, but he's going to try to make those a nightmare and everything in that aspect, which eventually brings out Roman Reigns in there, forcing Triple H to back off. That in the ring segment was rather short. And then they did another backstage segment where it looks like he was Roman Reigns was gonna start cutting a promo. By the way, he's not said one word. Yeah, he did not say one word here tonight in any way, shape, or form. So as soon as he's about to go cut a promo, Bubba Ray actually interrupts him, goats him into a 2-on-1 situation with Devon, which eventually Triple H attacks him from behind and kind of laying him out with the championship. Love the promo they cut towards Roman. There is like basically showing him the title, saying you're never gonna get this, you're never gonna get this. I'm gonna keep you down and everything and inside of there. And honestly, that's where they should have probably left it. Right there. You leave it right there. You have Roman down and everything like that, but no, you have Triple H come out. They're quote unquote going to address finish off their address that they had earlier, and it causes Roman Reigns to come out again, which eventually has all of them eventually brawl, but eventually brings out everybody on like opposite sides. First, the side for Triple H comes out, and then eventually like the Usos and the side for Roman Reigns comes out to separate all of them, which does lead to Roman Reigns jumping over the top rope, doing the big dive out to the outside and going over everybody. All in all, as a segment, and I'm blocking out the fans booing Roman Reigns and cheering Triple H. So Roman's supposed to be the face, Triple H is supposed to be the heel. In the terms of building that as a segment and doing that properly, they did a really good job. They did do a good job there. I thought this was actually not that bad. I would have left it in the backstage segment with Triple H and Roman Reigns, but if you put all the crowd, like I said, I'm blocking out the crowd noise for that, because the crowd noise was, them vehemently booing Roman Reigns throughout the entire night. And even after the dive, they went with the whole "You Still Suck" chant to go along with it. This is going to lead to predicaments at WrestleMania. It's going to be interesting to see what they finish off the show at WrestleMania with. Overall, this final Raw wasn't too bad. Actually, they did do some really good things here. That 6-man that got kind of chanted with different chants and everything, that had like mixtures of CM Punk chants, the announcers chants, and everything like that, was that match was actually really good. And you also had Alberto Del Rio and Kofi Kingston going into a match as well, to promote the whole New Day versus League of Nations match at WrestleMania. Good promo from them as well, from New Day right off the bat. Basically, kind of going through their standard fare and everything in that aspect. But they had Jonathan Coachman come out there and announce everything for SportsCenter being at WrestleMania and everything like that. But like I said, this Raw actually had some pretty darn good stuff to it. Had some things that were not so good either, but then again, you can't... I've never come to expect a perfect show from them with it being 3 hours. They could probably pull off shows where there's no boring or bad segments in any way, shape, or form if they went back down to 2. But when it comes to 3, I can't expect it. Not for Raw. I've never come to expect them to be able to pull it off. So, I mean, overall, and by no stretch of the imagination is there ever going to be a quote-unquote perfect show in my mind. But there were some segments in there, again, that, fans just definitely not into anything. People being quiet, chanting random stuff and everything like that. So, overall, not a bad show, not a great show. Not a bad way of going into WrestleMania, because they did do some really good stuff there. But we'll see how everything goes with WrestleMania. And that is my review for Monday Night Raw this week. I thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys at WrestleMania. I'll see you guys for the WrestleMania live reaction show. Have a good one.